Let me get rid of that. All right, give me a minute and I'll see when it's all done.
Sounds good.
Let me shut my phone sound down just in case.
Good call.
Don't want anybody calling in the middle of this. All right, here we go. Hello, my friend.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. A little tired, but that's life. So we have those ups and down days, ebbs and flows. So, but talking to you always helps.
Thank you. So how would you like to begin?
Would you please be kind enough to describe the civilization that is within Mount Shasta that's known as Telos?
Why?
It's funny. I wasn't going to ask this question, but then a friend of mine contacted me yesterday from Mount Shasta that was just random. And I've always heard stories about Telos and know that the storyline is that Lemuria, a lot of Lemurians went there after the last final fall of Atlantis. But is this just another story that we shouldn't be telling because we're creating a new reality and that's holding on to the
Yes.
past?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. So is this what slows down the ascension or rising in frequency process when we look back on all of these different storylines and focus on them instead of just like right in the now creating what we want without any past
Yes.
history?
Yes.
All right. So
all people have stories. Everyone wants to tell their story. Well, most people. Some people don't care about stories. Most people want to tell their story. And too many times their stories are not true. They are made up. They sound good and they feel good when they are being told, but they don't carry any weight as far as validity or reality will go. And it is kind of unfortunate because too many people believe in these stories that are not really real. And that is one thing that holds people back from excelling in their consciousness. The other thing that holds people back from excelling in their consciousness is simply they don't know how to raise their consciousness. Too many people don't even know they are conscious at this point in time. So, how can they raise their consciousness if they don't know they are conscious, if they are unconscious? People need to understand power that they have, the power to create what they want to create. I go over this over and over and over and over again because people need to hear this over and over and over and over again until they finally get to a point at which they start looking at the power that they have to create their reality. That in itself will allow them to raise their consciousness, changing how their reality is, recreating their reality, having new thoughts, changing their thought pattern, thinking in new ways. All of those things help to have people raise their consciousness. But stories keep people from raising their consciousness. Thank you.
thank you. So is that basically like almost an agenda of history in school to teach children all of these past, and most of them are not even true, or they've been changed or altered, and then they're planting them and getting them kind of off kilter or distracted by that history?
What has been taught in schools and what is being taught in schools is not really truth anymore, which is unfortunate, my friend. Governments are preventing schools from teaching about certain things from the past that people really need to hear about and understand, because hearing about those things and understanding them will help them in their present day life. How they treat themselves, how they treat other people, how they treat animals, how they treat, think of, and respect nature, and all the rest. First of all, governments need to change, which they probably will, but it is going to take a long, long time, because they operate with two ideas: guilt and fear. This is how governments operate: guilt and fear. And they use those to control people and schools and teaching and learning and excelling and creating and all of that, my friend, all of that.
I get it. I get it. And that's why I've always said I just want my sons to be in a trade school at some point so they can learn something tangible, a skill. That's something they could, be able to be like, we can learn for ourselves how to build things, how to create things like it used to be, the artisan type skills that we used to learn, instead of teaching a bunch of nonsense that half the time is proven wrong, or is just, like you said, some way of agenda of controlling with fear. So for the children that are stuck or that are in school in these systems right now and that are experiencing anxiety and bullying, what would Abram's message be to them to help them in that situation?
I tell children who are being bullied, know one thing: when someone bullies someone else, that person does not feel good about himself or herself. And bullying someone else, that person then thinks that allows them to feel good about themselves because they are a bit more special than the person they are bullying. The person being bullied needs to understand that. This has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with the bully. So I advise children, if you are being bullied, the best thing you can do is focus on what you are all about, who you are and what you are. Focus on that. And don't focus on the idea of bullying or being bullied or bullies. Focus on the idea of what you are. And if someone tries to bully you, the best thing you can do is smile at them and say, well, I understand you. Have a nice day, and walk away. But do it in a nice way, because if you do it in an attacking way, that will have the bully become angry. Then you will have a problem. So be nice, be respectful, especially of yourself. Respect yourself. This is basically what I would tell children at this point.
That's great. How would you, or what would your message be to children, adolescents, and even adults that suffer from low self-esteem or anxiety, or even just in general, just lack of self-worth?
Everyone on your planet Earth has a lack of self-worth to a degree. Everyone. There is not one person who does not suffer from that. And it is like an illness, a disease, a lack of self-worth. This begins at a very early age, when children are taught to be certain ways, taught how not to be certain ways. You can do this, but only to a point. You cannot do it any more than that because you are stupid. You cannot do it. You will never amount to anything. So do this instead. This is what I want you to do. Don't do what you want to do, because you cannot do it. You will fail. All of that leads to an understanding of lack within the child. And the child grows up with that lack being present in his or her identity all throughout his or her lifetime. Anxiety comes with the idea that you have something you would really like to accomplish, but you have been told from a very early child age that you are stupid, you cannot do it, you will fail, don't even try, do this instead, do that instead. So most people really do not attempt to really do what they want to do in their life and with their life, because the idea of failure pops up. Well, I don't know if it will work out. Something is telling me it is not going to work out. That something that is telling you that is what you have been told when you were a young child. You are stupid. You cannot do it. You don't have the wherewithal. You don't have the intelligence to do it. You don't have the knowing how to do it. So don't even try. You will not amount to anything. Those people really need to, or they can, not need to, but they can if they want to, take a look at their life right now. Ask themselves, is there a different or better way that I can be so that I can have all the confidence in myself that I want? Another thing to do is to look into a mirror, look into your eyes, and just tell your reflection in the mirror, you have all the confidence you can imagine right here, right now, and forever. I love you. Talk to yourself. If you think you can be a bit more confident in anything or with anything or in any way, talk to yourself. Ask yourself, what can I do for me to have more confidence? What can I get rid of emotionally and in the way I think so that I can have more self-confidence? And really, what is self-confidence anyway? I ask people, define that for me. The definition of self-confidence is simply be yourself, do what you want to do in the way or ways that you want to do it. Don't look at the outcome when you are creating something. Instead, enjoy all of the steps necessary to create the outcome. I have that to say. Thank you.
That's beautiful. Thank you. It's awesome. You know, it brings me back full circle because, you know, in my 20s, I wrote children's books about trying to empower children. And it was the process to help them get published, to show them they could get published at any age and remove any stigma of they're not old enough or they can't do it. And the whole entire book series was about that. And I used to have children have their own book signings and all of that. This is just my own personal, you know, thing. And now, years later, after meeting you, Abram, all of a sudden recently, I've been having these flashes of doing an adolescent book series of Tuesdays with Abram, where you teach all and instill all this information so that children can understand and hear that they're creating their reality and that they have so much more power, you know, than they realize and all of that. Is this something that is all just an idea, or is this something that why we might have come together? Because in the beginning, you told me I'd be doing something with my books to help children. Is this what it's all been leading to, helping children through you?
It is a possibility. It is an idea that we can discuss together and maybe create a nice outcome for it. We will have to talk about it, my friend, you and I.
Perfect. Anytime. All right. Well, right now, this is great information. Like I said, I don't want to take too much of your time because I know Tom is so tired lately. He's been working so hard. And one of the things, Abram, that maybe you can help nudge him with, because it would benefit both of you, is that if he did a Zoom group, I could help him set it up so he could speak to 100 people with pre-submitted questions for 1 hour of you coming through versus doing 30 individual sessions across, 3 weeks and being so exhausted as he is, because he's getting more popular the more I talk and the more he's out there and more people want to talk to you. So if there's anything I can do to help that burden, please give him the right advice from you of what would help, because it's all free. Everything I do, it's just to help people, because I love to help people and I love you guys. And all I'm trying to do is let get you seen by larger people on a quieted Zoom so that nobody can interrupt you. And any pre-submitted questions, either Sue or whomever, I would even help if you needed, someone could ask, and then Abram could answer them. And that way Tom would have done the work and you would have done the work of 30 different sessions or 50 different sessions in one session to help everybody, with self-care. Unless you think it's good for him to keep doing as many as he's doing, because you come through and you bring him energy and life force. So you would know better anyway. Just ideas. Everything's
I will consider that, my friend. These are all possibilities.
Exactly.
Understand, every time Tom has a client or a session to do, I give him energy. Yes. If I did not, he would have been long gone by now, my friend. His energy would have been gone a long time ago. So I keep him balanced as best I can.
Okay, there it is. So you would know when he needs that energy, and you would know how
absolutely,
frequently.
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. So I don't need to offer help. I could just let him do his thing. And if you ever need me, or you guys, you'll let him know to let me know. But I thought, it would help, but makes sense because you're giving him that life force when he needs it. Okay, cool. So I don't have to worry about helping with that. One last thing that, I have to do. Last question. How can I do better at my job? Should I just start writing questions to myself? Because I want to be like the top rep and contribute, because it's about helping these children that are dying of this pediatric rare disease. So for my own, I know, envision it, see it, but I must be missing something. What am I doing wrong to not be able to get to that level?
You are not doing anything wrong. Don't ever say, what am I doing wrong? Mm-hmm. Instead, say, what can I do in a different way?
What can I do?
There are many ways to do your job. Just begin thinking, imagining of a couple of different ways that you can do what you do. You will arrive at a solution as to how you can do your job in a better way, better being non-judgmental, because you are doing a good job right now. So if you really want to do a better job, imagine a couple of different ways to do something different, or simply keep doing your job. Period.
Mm-hmm.
People always want to be better, do better, have better. And I tell them, be yourself, appreciate what you have, and life will be good for you.
Yeah. That's my vibe too. That's how I subscribe to that. So I guess it's just when it's meant to, if it's meant to, and everything is a lesson and everything is pre-orchestrated in a sense by my higher self. So if I just get my frequency up and tap into appreciation, gratitude, and be in that moment, then all my intentions will work them, their ideas out somehow. So
absolutely.
Great. Thank you. Well, I want to give Tom some time to kind of chill out after he was infused with your energy, because he always asked me to keep these short, like to 15 minutes. So I just want to thank you again. And, at least I know that this information for parents and for all of that I get it out to, even if we don't write a book one day, because trust me, it's just one more thing to do. So I'm not trying to force anything, but at least this information can help kids and parents and teens and just anybody suffering from low self-worth right now look at themselves and ask these questions that we forget to do. And maybe it's more of doing it like any exercise every day. And that's why so many of us forget to do it like a mantra, to ask those questions every day, because every moment we're new, right? So if you have to keep asking these questions, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And the more you ask, the more you will receive. This is how energy works.
Excellent. Well, I'll be asking away today. Thank you so much, Abram.
Good.
I love you so much.
Ask away and have fun asking.
I do. I love asking. It's fun.
All right. Well,
I've enjoyed being with you.
Always. This has been fun for me. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Have
You're the best.
a good day, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay.